guys, how are you? How are you doing? I'm here at British Institute and I'm alone. Nobody's here, we are all at home. You are relaxing, you're watching Netflix because I know that you'll be watching Netflix. You're probably playing video games all day long and I'm here alone. That's not fair. I'm a bit stressed because of the situation, but today I will try with a video lesson and we will start watching a video about daily routine. In fact, in the last few lessons we studied present simple for daily routine. Right, we use present simple when we talk about everyday life. For example, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't have breakfast. I don't like breakfast when I get up. I prefer coffee. I have 2 coffees when I get up. And what about you? Do you have breakfast in the morning? That's a question form. In fact, for present simple, we use in the positive sentences, we have to remember to use S for third person singular. I, for example, she gets up, okay? Or we have to use ES. She washes her face, okay? Or IES, okay? When, for example, Shadiki, can you think about an example? Shadiki is filming me.
Hello everyone, she studies.
She studies after breakfast. Do you study after breakfast? I don't think so. These are examples of the positive form for present simple. For the negative form, you have to remember we need the help of an auxiliary. We use do or does as auxiliaries. So for negative form we say I don't have breakfast, she doesn't have breakfast. And what about question form? To form questions we have to use do or does at the start of the question. We finish the question with a question mark. And after the auxiliary, we use the subject. So, do you, does she, does Shadiki have breakfast? Do you have breakfast, Shadiki?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. So, let's revise the short answers. Yes, I do. Or no, I
Don't.
This is a very quick revision on the use of present simple to talk about daily routine. In Italy, we have a daily routine. In Britain, it's different. Let's watch a video about a typical day in life of a British student.
My name's Fred. I live in London and I'm 17 years old. I wake up at 7 and I usually get out of bed about 7:30. Then I come downstairs and have breakfast. Usually I have cereal for breakfast with orange juice, but sometimes I have toast with usually jam or honey. Then I pack my bag for school. I walk because my school's it's only in the centre of the town where I live, so it's only 15 minutes walk in the morning, which is good because it means I can sleep later. The school is quite old. It's been a school for about 400 years, and it's got about 1,000 students there in 7 age groups, and it's only boys there. It's School starts at 8:30, and then we have 2 lessons, which go until 10:15. 10:45 we have a break for 15 minutes. Then 11 till 12:40 we have 2 more lessons, and then lunchtime. I can go into town to get my lunch, but most people have to stay in school and eat the school food, and British school food isn't very nice. Then we have 2 more lessons after lunch, and we finish school at 3:30. Usually I come home and I just sort of relax for a bit, and that's usually for maybe an hour. I read or I watch television. And my mum gets home about usually between 5:30 and 6, and so we'll usually eat dinner about 6:30.
Okay, so it's a quite different routine. With something is similar, something is different from our routine. For example, Stephen has cereal for breakfast. Do you have cereal for breakfast? I do. What about you? Most of Italian children, kids, don't have cereal for breakfast. They have, for example, biscuits and milk. British student walks to school. We usually go to school by bus or by car, right? We walk to school only if we live very close to the school. He starts lesson at 8:30. That's the same in Italy. We start school at 8, somewhere between 8 and 8:30. He goes into town for lunch. That's different. We have lunch at home. We go back home for lunch, and we have lunch with mom and dad, or only mom, maybe with dad, part of the family. But we stay at home. British students go into town for lunch, or they have lunch at the school canteen. If you remember, he says that the school canteen is no good. Food is rubbish. So he prefers to go into town, into a restaurant or a fast food restaurant. He finishes school at 3:30 in the afternoon, and after school he relaxes. What about you? You usually finish school at 1:30, and what about the afternoon? Do you have homework? Yes, you do. You have a lot of homework. You have to study a lot after school. And look, his mom gets home at 5:30 or 5:30 in the afternoon. It's quite early. Moms in Italy usually go home later, 8:30. Moms in Italy usually go home later in the afternoon. Okay, and we have dinner at 8 o'clock in the evening, 8:30 in Britain. We have dinner at 6 o'clock. So if we notice, usually are adverbs of frequency. Other examples of other adverbs of frequency are, come on, help me. Yes, always. And the opposite of always is never. Usually is a repeated action in time. We can also, when you don't do the same action on a daily basis, you can also use often. Okay? Or the opposite, rarely. Okay? Or hardly ever. Okay, and then we have also sometimes. These adverbs of frequency always go before a verb, but with verb to be, it's different. I never drink milk. I am always late. Yes, that's true. I'm always late. Always is an adverb of frequency. Never, adverb of frequency. With common verbs, the adverb of frequency is before. With verb to be, the adverb of frequency is after verb to be. Okay, what happens when we ask questions? Do you ever drink milk? It's the same. The adverb of frequency goes before the verb. Okay? What about verb to be? Are you always late? Okay? Here there's a change because remember, verb to be, you swap the position of the verb and the subject. Okay? So, are you always late? This is the position of the adverb of frequency with verb to be. Okay, now let's go to your book. Okay. 1D. Okay, here on page 17 you will find file 1D, and if you click on file 1D you can, sorry guys, okay, you will see the page of your book. You can refer to the page. So now you can pause the video, go to page 17 and read about a teenage life in Britain. Okay? When you're finished reading, go back to the video and answer these questions together. Can you pause, Shadiki? Okay, so after the reading, let's complete this exercise together. We have to replace the words in bold with words in the list. We have teenagers, families, soap operas, school, clubs, a school uniform. Let's start. Number 1, they are not big. Of course, we're talking about families. Number 2, what about families in Italy? Are they big or small? I would say that families in Italy are not big as well. They're not big because we usually have one brother, one sister. It's always 2 children, mom and dad. So Italian families aren't very big. Number 2, they help with housework. That's teenagers. Yes, teenagers in Britain help with housework. you don't help with housework at all, because I know you, all of you. So I know that you, Italian teenagers, don't help with housework. Or they just help with housework, let's say sometimes, or hardly ever. Number 3, they like watching them. What do British teenagers like watching with mom and dad in the evening? They like watching soap operas. Okay. These days we call them TV series. Soap operas are usually several episodes of the same story. We call them TV series these days. Do you watch TV series with mom and dad, for example on Netflix or on TV? I don't know. My children watch soap operas, TV series with me. For example, we watch Montalbano. What about you? I'll ask you next time. Number 4, it finishes at 3:30. Yes, of course, we're talking about school. Number 5, they always wear it at school. They wear a school uniform. Yes, do you remember the video we saw a few minutes ago? British students always wear a uniform. For example, boys wear a jacket, a tie, a shirt, blue or black trousers, matching trousers. And what about you? You are middle school students. You don't wear a uniform. You never